Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 28th of April. Just whilst I think about it, I will not be doing an update Monday morning, next Monday, or this coming Monday, as it's a bank holiday over here. So yeah, there won't be anything, so we'll be back to normal on Tuesday. So let's have a look if there's any normality out there this morning. Starting off looking at the news first, actually, we've seen the Bank of Japan reporting and given a bit of an outlook. Now they've taken some comments off their statement, but they haven't actually, aside of that, haven't made any adjustments. The Tokyo inflation came out at 3.5 versus 3.2, so it's better than expected. However, the fact that they haven't really done anything or given any forward guidance at all has left it all a bit blank from there onwards, and we've seen the yen sold off this morning. Aside of that, today then we've still got some data. We've got the German inflation. It comes out over the morning, so that will continue till about midday. Bank of Japan press conference. I thought that might have happened, but might have missed something. We'll see. Already, I think it's happened. Spanish flash inflation. No. Next important thing then is the US core PCE price index. Now this is the measure of inflation on the consumer, and this is being watched, and it's the favourite measure of the Fed at the moment, the central bank there. So that's a key one at 1:30. So keeping a lot of things out of the water today. Keeping away from these markets largely. I think we'll see how things shape up, but at the moment let's look through them. The euro on a daily perspective, it still looks choppy and consolidated around the highs, so it's got some scope for a continuation. It's looking at this 4-hourly picture over the last couple of weeks now, and you're sort of seeing the higher lows coming in, and it's sort of continuing in this original channel that I popped on here. Still shoving up in that, but it's ugly during the daytimes. I mean, yesterday it drifted, and then later in the day there at 1 o'clock it sold, but then it's drifted back up. It's a difficult one to identify where it's going. I was looking at it a few minutes ago, and it looked like it could be on for its S1, and it's totally turned around. So a bit of patience needed this morning. It's probably going to be another day I don't trade the euro. Now the euro used to be my bread and butter trades, and it just isn't moving. This year's just not moved the same. Largely, we get the odd day, but it's quite unpredictable at times, and a lot of it is chop. Now looking at the pound dollar here, well, chopping along the same sort of thing around the highs, so we've got scope for it to continue to push up. It's quite ugly on the 4-hourly picture here. Oops, sorry, wrong mouse there. Quite ugly from that point of view, and I can't do anything with that. I'm going through these majors to just show you the majors and look at them. Generally we have a bit of an opportunity, but they just it's one of those mornings where I wouldn't bother trying to trade them. The dollar yen then, well, no surprises there with negative. I say negative, but just not anything more to be said, and we're sort of seeing this higher low confirmed again. So at the moment it's really tracking behind a little bit here. There was quite an expectation that the new governor and the lead from him would be that we'd see a bit of a change in comments, etc., but we just had a comment removed as opposed to changed. Aussie dollar again consolidating. It's sold off a little bit again now. It's just sort of in a very tight range sitting here. Looks bearish overall, still looks bearish, and well, it's just dancing around. This blue line is just part of a channel that was there. It's come back, it retested the underside of it yesterday, sold off. sorry, that wasn't yesterday, that was last week. I'm just getting the no, it was yesterday, beg your pardon. Pushed up a bit here, but again has sold once again. The Aussie dollar, that's it. Right, US dollar, CAD. CAD still softening, so it's a bit of dollar strength coming through largely this morning as we look through these markets, but that seems to flag and fade as we sort of drive through the markets recently. Seeing the same sort of picture wherever we go. This US dollar CAD is continuing. I mean, yesterday saw a sort of a stronger day in it, but as I say, the US dollar here pushing up against the CAD, and it's a similar picture across the board. Other markets, there's just really little to discuss here. The euro yen, of course, a lot of one of my favourite currencies to trade, is just literally well, it's broken out of the mess. It's been consolidated in, and off it's gone. So you'd be forgiven for sitting on your hands a little bit today. Euro Aussie is a possibility. Now, the bigger picture, it's really in a stronger trend. Again, I looked at this about 10-15 minutes ago. Okay, I could see the ball flag and it looked like it had some potential, but you came down to this time frame and we were running into the underside of the pivot, then it didn't want to go anywhere. But you can see how tight the pivots are today. Maybe we'll get a bit of continuation through this morning. Euro CAD, so another pair I really like from it generally. It puts in some lovely trends and pushes up strongly. It's doing okay, but well, again, it's if we were to draw a trend line across the highs, if I can draw a trend line, it'd be good. Yep, that's what I want. Come on, draw me a trend line. If we were to pop that across there, it's actually just breaking. I was wondering if it's just running into it. It's just potentially breaking that. So we'll see in the next hour if it can manage to push up beyond that and start its move to the upside again. It's taken out a recent high there, but not anything significant. So pretty much the same across the board here. I mean, the pound Aussie, the Canadian dollar Aussie, they're both just starting to pick up a little bit here. Or the pound CAD, sorry, pound Aussie, pound CAD. Other pairings I've been looking at recently are all a bit sport at the moment. Aussie CAD is short. I'm still in, and it seems like it's going to a road to nowhere. It's just really got in up here somewhere, shorted it, and it's just chopping. Maybe it'll break those lows there. The bigger picture really is still to the downside here for me. It's largely to the downside. Just need to be patient with it. One thing I do notice is we've got Australian data early next week on Tuesday morning, so there is a risk to it. Okay, I would like to be a bit more positive about these majors, but there's not a great deal I want to be seeing there at the moment. The equity markets the US markets took a real buzz yesterday, biggest day since the beginning of the year apparently, to the upside, only for Amazon to under deliver, and we've seen a bit of a sell-off since then. But the CSI 300 just go further afield, and well, that's had another positive day there. Still overall don't like the picture that's sitting there, very indecisive. The Nikkei turned direction. We had yesterday I was talking about this sort of bearish or this island reversal, which can be quite a bearish signal. Well, it's now done the opposite way, so nothing massively convincing. One market which I've been talking about for a while is Nifty 50, and it still continues to track its way out to the upside here. This is a much more convincing move for those old head and shoulder lovers. There's your shoulder, your head, your shoulder, and basically it's in a third wave. So it's got potential to push up an equal throw to this sort of original move here. It's got the potential, not all in one go necessarily, but it does look bullish from that perspective. Right, Aussie, the Australian index there, still that flag sits there. I said yesterday it looks like it's got some scope, but well, it's just sitting in the flag. If it sits in there too long, of course it's going to roll over. Now next Tuesday, depending on what they talk about, interest rates could be could certainly affect this market. S&Ps. So that was yesterday's really nice big move there. Doesn't look quite as big. It's biggest upside up day. But anyway, it's put a bullish pivot swinging down the dailies. Today though, it's just struggling a little bit where it is, which is not a surprise after seeing so much buying there. It's still in the bigger range, and well, maybe later. The Dow is similar. You're going to see a similar picture through the Dow and the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq coming off that little bit more with Amazon included within. Right, coming close to home then, and look at the DAX this morning, and surprise, it's exactly where in the same old choppy, horrible range as it's been recently. Last couple of weeks here, you can now see, and well, it's in its sideward channel largely now. Short term, well, we'll see what happens. Yesterday, actually, just going back to yesterday, it looked like it was bearish. Sure enough, it sold off pretty quickly, but it put quite a reversal in there very, very quickly, and it was certainly a game of two halves there, completely turning. But it had come down pretty much towards its lows, and that was that. Today at the moment it's erring on this sort of higher lows. It's back into on the channel, it's on its upside look of it. However, we'll wait until post 8 o'clock, see what happens, see if it breaks back down. Weird old market there at the moment. Okay, it's the DAX, the FTSE, not too dissimilar really. It's got the more bull flaggy, got some scope, but gradually, instead yesterday I think the lower highs coming through, although changed a bit yesterday afternoon into the evening, but looking slightly softer. That flag may just continue a little bit more. Didn't look at gold this morning, sorry. Just have a look at gold. By the way, morning Ian, sorry, wasn't ignoring you. Gold just continues to sit in the range, and this sums the markets up pretty well at the moment. We need a catalyst to get them out of this consolidation phase and back into a trending phase. But when they get so choppy, yes, you can play channels, etc. So play channel moves, but it's pretty difficult otherwise. The oil price, well, we've seen the gap filled. Yesterday I mentioned that, and well, at the moment, well, little else happening here, a little bit of consolidation. Maybe there's further downside to be had, we'll see. Okay, oh dear me, did I forget those? I'll get reminded otherwise. You didn't cover Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin's been having a bit of a fun time there. Yesterday ended up pushing back up there. It's looking very indecisive yesterday morning, but it still looks horrible in its chop zone that you're seeing on the lower time frames. Maybe it's got some scope to get a leg up over the weekend. Yeah, it's got it's round the highs. Maybe it's got, as I say, that chance. The Ethereum, and I don't like the consolidation around here, but again, it could be just consolidating, and it could go back up there. As I said, I don't like consolidations away from the high. Consolidation around the high is generally a bit more bullish, although this one failed, and it's sort of sitting there. Maybe this one will fail the other way and push upwards. I mean, it's a pretty much similar picture across. I'm just sort of looking at three of them at the moment. I'm quite happy to look at others upon request, but XRP, Ripple, still chopping along there. So it's a common thread through the markets is chop. It doesn't matter. I say it doesn't matter. Everyone thinks they've got to trade every single day. If it doesn't, I didn't take any new trades yesterday. I'm not trying to trade this market in the intermediate time. It's just difficult to say the least. Okay, I'll leave it there. I wish you a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday, or speak to you on Tuesday. I can't actually see you, just to reassure you, sitting there in those fluffy pajamas. Bye for now.